Hello, this is Inspiration and this is my review of NXT, the Dallas special that they done the night before WrestleMania. So as usual, if you haven't seen it, which you should have, I'll give you 5 seconds to get away from this video and I'll be telling you what I thought of the matches and the people, and then I'll see some updates and all that jazz. So this is your 5-minute warning, seconds to get away from the video if you haven't seen it, starting now. There we go, that's 5 seconds. So, again, these aren't going to be in order, but I'm just going to go by what the website's got them up as, starting from the bottom. Let's start from the bottom. Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. Again, as I've always said, Baron Corbin, he's a hit and miss with me. Sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. Austin Aries, again, I followed him in TNA, in his TNA days, so I know a lot about him and I support him quite a bit. He is one of my favourite wrestlers from TNA and the indie scene. So I'm glad WWE took the opportunity and signed him because he can put great matches on. And I think he will in the future, but there's something about this match between the two, whether it's because they didn't really know each other's style, or it's because Baron Corbin was getting ready to go to the main roster. I don't know, there's just something about the match that didn't really excite me about it. I thought it was going to be a much hard-hitting match, much more fast-paced, much more entertaining, be one of the best matches of the night, but it didn't have much to it in my opinion. It was a bit slow-paced. Austin didn't really get to show much of what he does. I think he did win. Yeah, he won, which was a bit obvious because he's the newbie. But I don't know, I suppose because he's starting NXT, you've got to give him a bit of credit. It was a decent match, but Austin Aries can put on way better matches than that. So, you know, hopefully in the future when he gets into the main WWE roster, or when he gets up put against NXT fan favourites or the talented members of NXT like Finn Balor or Doomy when he returns, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, or even Samoa Joe, which he's had a long rivalry with in TNA before. He can put on good matches. Next one, I'm going to apologise if I say his name wrong, but Shitsune Nakanumi versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, as I always said, he's one of my favourites, always has been, always will be, but when it comes to the big matches, I feel like he's just put in there to put on a show and he doesn't ever get the chance to win them. As I've said before, maybe like when he gets to the main roster, which is now, he might be given a chance and actually win the matches. But nevertheless, it was obvious again the new guy was going to win, Naoki Nakamura, whatever his name is, from Japan. So obviously he's going to win because he's new to the WWE, new to NXT, and really it's a match to, you know, showcase his skills. Don't get me wrong, it's one of the best matches on the card that night, and Sami Zayn always puts on a good match, like I said, and it was one of the best matches, but I don't know, he's a bit weird to me, Nakamura, whatever his name is. He's got a bit of weird style, but strong hold, as they say, which I've recognised. It's very similar style that a lot of Japan wrestlers like to do, strong style. But nevertheless, it was a good match. It was one of the best matches of the night, and I enjoyed it. It was obviously going to steal the show and put on a good match, and they did. Next, the NXT Championship match, the Revival. I was just starting to get into them. They're just starting to become one of my favourite tag teams. But American Alpha, I haven't really seen much of them. I have watched NXT and I have watched a few of their matches, but I haven't really made an opinion on them. But they stood out to me on the Dallas special. They put on a great match with the Revival, both backwards and forwards. It's hard to say who was going to win. Revival stuck to what they do best, which is sneaking about and underhand tactics and stuff like that, which is their style, which they stuck to very well. And American Alpha are all about Olympic wrestling, ground wrestling, all that kind of stuff like Kurt Angle does, which as Kurt Angle showed, you can get a career out of doing that sort of style. Even Brock Lesnar kind of got that style in his wrestling Arteria. But it was a good match. It stole the show for me. It was one of the best matches of that pay-per-view, along with one other match I haven't mentioned yet, and the match I just mentioned with Sami Zayn. So yeah, good match. You know, backwards and forwards, good pace, good action. Bayley versus Asuka. I haven't really been a fan of Asuka, I'm not gonna lie, she bores me a little bit, so I was hoping Bayley would win because Bayley is one of my favourite female wrestlers, and she has done excellent wonders for the women's division along with Charlotte, Becky Lynch and the boss, Sasha Banks. So I was hoping Bayley would win really, but she didn't. There might be a reason behind that because I have heard she's getting pushed to the main roster. Only time will tell. And maybe Asuka is going to be the new dominant woman that's going to hold the belt for a while like Bayley did. But it was a bit of a slow match for me. It didn't really end in the greatest way. It got ended with Bayley basically getting tapped out. And I thought they could have put on a much better match than that. Much better ending to it. Because Bayley has put on way better match than that. It just felt again a bit like Baron Corbin versus Austin Aries, a bit slow paced, not all there, and a lot more could have been done. The match made a lot better. Now on to the main event, Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe again has always been one of my favourite wrestlers, along with Finn Balor. Well, then Finn Balor has become one of my favourite wrestlers since being in NXT because I don't really know him from the indie scene. But Samoa Joe, obviously I know him from TNA days when I used to watch TNA. I don't anymore because all the originals are gone pretty much. But they, as always, as to expected, put on an amazing match, as you knew they would. Backwards and forwards, fast-paced action, counter after counter, move after move. You didn't really know who was going to win. I wasn't really worried who was going to win, and I didn't really care who was going to win. Finn, I reckon he will hold the belt until he goes to the main roster, which obviously hasn't been yet. There was rumours he was going to debut with the Bullet Club, or whatever they're calling it in WWE, or whatever has been going around. But obviously they're deciding to keep him in NXT and let him continue to grow the brand and make it one of the best brands in WWE today, which he has, along with Sami Zayn and other wrestlers that are on that show day in and day out. It's a very good match, like I said, backwards and forwards. Hopefully Samoa Joe, again, he's a bit like Sami Zayn when it comes to big matches, he don't win them. So hopefully when he gets the main roster, he'll get pushed, or he'll start getting pushed when Finn Balor goes. But both of them are going to be around for a long time, so I don't think it's going to be a bit of this too much disappointment. And I think Samoa Joe will win the NXT belt eventually one day. So overall, it was, as usual, which I always have said, NXT puts on a good pay-per-views. And again, it was an amazing pay-per-view. Apart from one or two matches that I thought were a bit slow, it was generally a good pay-per-view and I very much enjoyed it. So I would recommend checking it out and watching it, especially if you're a fan of NXT, especially if you're a fan of the stronghold style from Japan, because obviously Finn Balor's got a bit of that in him. So it's the new guys from Japan that come from there. Obviously he says he's the king of it. So, and Bayley has a little bit in it. Or for not Bayley, Asuka. Asuka has a bit of it in her as well. So I definitely say check it out, watch it. It's a good pay-per-view. Yeah, so next thing I'll do in next video will be my WrestleMania review, and then I'll start working on my Grandad rap, and then I don't know, and then maybe a wedding update video. But hopefully you enjoyed this review, and please, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. See you later.